Welcome to Nana's a Nerd. This is day 22 of having my quail. Actually, 22 days into incubation. On day 18, 15 baby quail were born. On day 19, another 6 were born. So I ended up with 21. Unfortunately, today we lost one. He unalived himself. He got caught. I woke up this morning and went to clean their cage, and he was caught between the water dish and the wall of the brooder and was very wet because his brothers and sisters had been stepping all over him. I'm saying him. I don't know what sex it was. They're so tiny. Anyway, he did not survive. But I have 8 eggs that did not hatch. And as promised, I'm going to open them up so that I can determine whether or not they were actually fertile at all or how developed they were. Cautionary note, I'm not going to show all of them because YouTube wouldn't appreciate that. But anyway, my chance to try out my quail scissors for the first time. Let's give this a shot. Oh, okay. A lot of liquid coming out of that one. This, I don't think, was a viable egg. I'm just seeing snot. Might have been a developing embryo early on, but yeah. If this one, it was fertile, but it didn't develop. It stopped developing early. So no problem there. Next one. Maybe. Oh, that one actually was not fertilized, just a yolk. So no issues there. I do save the shells. So there was one non-fertilized, and we had one earlier, as you all recall, that was not fertilized. Oh, now this one's more developed. We're going to peel it gently. See what we've got. I'm getting what looks like blood coming out. Okay. I'm only using the knife to break the membrane. Yeah, this one just didn't hatch. It was much more developed. He's curled up in there. Okay. Well, no wonder the little guy had such a hard time coming out. Goodness. Okay, this one was fairly well developed. He just didn't hatch. That membrane does not want to come off. Yep, he's all wound up in a ball. Okay. Hard to tell how far along he was. Definite development here. But doesn't look like he was fully developed. Okay. So that could be incubator issues. What I'm trying to determine is whether or not there's anything I can do to make, I mean, the hatch was pretty successful. I think for my first time, a 70% hatch rate is pretty darn good. And so far as I know, there were only 2 of them that weren't fertilized. So this one is about same level of development as the other, not fully grown. Well, yeah, pretty well. Able to unwind this one. The other one is Oh, there we go. There we go. They just kind of wind up in a ball. Yep, just didn't hatch. That's 2 of them. So I think that's what we're probably going to find with the rest of these. Being very gentle with... Oh, we got another yolky one. I'll dump you. Okay, you're not fertilized at all. Okay, there's another not fertilized. So that's 3. Good to know. Some of the ones with darker shells I've found didn't, at least for me, didn't candle properly, because when I was candling, I only had the one. Okay. So we're at 3 not fertilized. This one is stopped in early development again, not as early as the other one, but it's kind of just a blob. Okay. All right, so we've got, as I said, there were 3 so far that were not fertilized at all. 2 early development and 2 that seemed to be developed but didn't hatch or died right before hatching. That membrane is, poor little guys must have a hell of a time getting through that membrane. This is another pretty well developed one. I see feathers. So I thought I had my humidity high enough. Maybe I didn't. Yeah. The guy all curled up and ready to hatch just didn't. Okay, 1 left to go. And I will show you what they look like after. And I'm just barely opening. This one's got more yolk to it. Okay. And that one's partial development. Okay. Like a little bit of you can start to see the beginnings of an embryo there. All right. All right, let me show you what we've got. And for the squeamish, now is the time to turn away. Okay, here we are. First, obviously the unfertilized eggs. Now I have a few that just stopped in development, these 3. And these 3 seem to be a little farther along. Probably appear to be fully formed. You know, we have all the pieces and parts. They just didn't hatch for one reason or another. Turn you around with your brothers. I'm just nudging it. I'm not cutting him. Okay. So, nothing I can do about, obviously, the unfertilized ones. We had 3 that stopped in early development, not bad, and 3 that didn't hatch. That's pretty darn good. And I had 21 that did. So of the 9, 3 at this stage, 3 at this stage, and 3 that weren't fertilized. Overall, that's pretty darn good. And we learned something. Poor little babies. Okay, but I have 20 now, beautiful babies that I'm going to try to raise up as best I can. as long as they don't do anything else to unalive themselves. But we know that 3 of them just didn't make it out of their shell. And those are the ones that bother me. So I'm going to look at, overall, I think I did pretty well, especially for a first time. I think next time I will follow the instructions more clearly and wait until day 15 to put them in lockdown. That might have had something to do with it. I think everything else I did was right. Nothing I could do for the unfertilized or the ones that stopped developing. That just happens. But I could definitely do something to help those other 3 so that in the future they can be born, be hatched. Thanks for watching. Nana's a nerd.